What's up, YouTube? This is Star War. Look, does anybody know who Susan Rice is? Okay, if you don't know who Susan Rice is, and I'm thinking that she may be kin to Condoleezza Rice, but if you don't know who Susan Rice is, she worked for the National Security Advisor. She was the National Security Advisor of the United States. So she worked for the National Security Council and was the Assistant Secretary of State for African Affairs during the time President Bill Clinton was serving his second term. Now, she got on Snoop Dogg's head because we all know that Gayle King said, brought up Kobe's name during the interview with Lisa Leslie when she was talking about the rape case. And it was out of line. She shouldn't even brought that up. So everybody been going in on Gayle, and Snoop was one of the persons that went in on her, called her a funky dog, and all kind of things. So Susan Rice, she sent a message out. She put a message out on Twitter, and she was telling Snoop Dogg to back the fuck off with the attacks on Gayle King, in regards to Kobe Bryant. Because, I guess Gayle King is her friend and she mad. And see, here's the thing. Snoop Dogg ain't nobody. Snoop Dogg is sellout too. Even though when certain things go on within the community, he speak up and say things, but he a sellout too. He just a small sellout. He the low man. He the low man on the totem pole. See, these is big sellouts that he's speaking on, that he going off on. Gayle King, she's a big sellout. Her friend Oprah Winfrey, she's a big sellout. Susan Rice, she's a big sellout. All these people is big sellouts with connections to most of the people who run the United States. So now you got people going after Snoop, and they not just gonna be going after him on Twitter and Instagram. They gonna really, when they start going at you, you gonna see, you really gonna get to see who and how the enemy works. You're gonna get to see how the enemy operates, because you are up against a real live enemy, and the enemy has its helpers. Just like Santa Claus has his little helpers, our enemy has their little helpers, and their little helpers is people like Gayle King, Oprah Winfrey, this Susan Rice. Yeah. And she told him too, she told Snoop too, back the fuck off. And they mean that. They gonna come at Snoop real hard. He was threatened by the former U.S. National Security Advisor. Just think about that for a second. You don't think that she know people? The National Security Advisor. These is people who, prying off into your life, prying off into your emails, wiretapping people. People who work alongside with the CIA, with the FBI, okay? National security. Just think about that. They'll get off into your bank accounts, all that. Make your life a living hell. These is people who watch these terrorist groups around the world. These are people who in charge of the security. So they in charge of surveillance on a grand scale. They in charge of many things that's making the American people's lives a living hell. Believe that. They pry off into your lives. They know every little single thing. They know everything we do. Now, and it ain't like they don't know about Snoop. But he been threatened. And it ain't like he been threatened by the local police. And believe me, they fixing to be, yeah, yeah. They fixing to be on his ass. Believe that. Somebody else on Twitter was like, they said, drugs, like being a good athlete at an early age, stunt your emotional and intellectual development. Yes, I'm talking about you, Snoop. And then they say, ignore him at Ambassador Rice. I do like this gear of yours because at Gayle King had every right to ask at Martha Stewart should calm her bud. Now they're talking about she had every right to ask the question she asked, which I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all, you know. But somebody else says it's they're talking about it's not going to be pleasant for anyone. These battles between Snoop, Gayle, and Susan Rice are just the beginning. They talking about once the NTSB final report comes out, pitchforks will come out too. It's not going to be pleasant for anyone. These battles between Snoop Dogg, Gayle, and Susan Rice are just the beginning. And believe me, they know what they talking about. Now, I'm not about to sit here and say Snoop Dogg should tuck his tail, because he shouldn't. You know, whatever you say, whatever you speak on, you should be able to stand on that too. So, you know, my advice and my message to Snoop is stand firm in what you believe. You said what you said, and me, in my eyes, there wasn't nothing wrong with what you said, because Gayle King was wrong. She knew she was wrong, and she knew exactly what she did. We don't care about that apology. You having an interview with Lisa Leslie about Kobe Bryant. You shouldn't have brought up anything about that rape case. He didn't go to prison. He wasn't convicted of it. So why you keep bringing that up? They just trying to tarnish his legacy. They don't like no black man who has a clean slate. They want everybody's name to be tarnished. They want some type of smut on every black man's name. They don't care if you rich or poor. Yeah, Kobe did a lot of nice things. Yes. And they don't care about that. They don't give a damn. They gonna keep bringing up that rape case. They don't care if he was acquitted or not. They don't care if the woman involved lied. They don't care about none of that. See, they won't bring up none of that. All they'll keep saying is rape, 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 rape. That's what they'll keep saying. And they use people like Gayle King to do it. As if she didn't know what she was doing. She knew exactly what she was doing. This is how she remains in business. You slander the black man's name, and we'll keep you in business. And we'll keep your pockets lined with money. Other than that, if you start speaking for the black man, we will knock you down. And they mean that. And yes, Susan Rice, the former national security advisor for the National Security Council, yes, they're going to come after Snoop. She threatening. And they not playing. They going to come after the brother. Believe that. But this is how they do us. They won't go after nobody else that they really need to go after. But anyway, if you don't know who Susan Rice is, do your research. You don't know who and what the National Security Council is? Do your research. The NTSB, do your research. Just go do your research. And then you will know. You will know. But make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button as well on your way out. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you can get these videos when they drop. And make sure you share my videos on all social media platforms so that everybody will be able to see him. Peace.